Historic prisoner swap between Russia, US, other nations reportedly underway. Russia, the United States, and several other countries have begun a massive prisoner exchange in what is expected to be the largest swap of its kind since the end of the Cold War. Bloomberg, Sky News, CNN, and other Western media outlets quoted sources as saying the exchange was proceeding after several high-profile political prisoners being held in Russia went missing, prompting speculation that they were being readied for a swap. No government officials in Washington, Moscow, or elsewhere have confirmed the swap, but analysts on August 1 pointed to signs suggesting it was ongoing, citing the movement of aircraft that in the past have been used in similar exchanges. However, RFE/RL President and CEO Stephen Capus said in a statement that the broadcaster welcomed news of Alsu's imminent release and are grateful to the American government and all who worked tirelessly to end her unjust treatment by Russia. Alsu's release makes us even more determined to secure the freedom of 3 other RFE/RL journalists, cruelly imprisoned in Belarus and Russian-occupied Crimea. We will not rest until all of our unjustly detained journalists are home safe. Journalism is not a crime, he added, referring to Ihar Lozik and Andrei Kuznichik in Belarus, and Vladislav Yesipenko in Crimea. Several U.S. media outlets reported that Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan are also being released, as is opposition activist Vladimir Kara-Murza, a dual Russian-British citizen. None of the 3, or any others involved in the swap, have been confirmed as being released. Speculation of a swap has built in recent days as defense lawyers for several high-profile people being held in Russian prison facilities have said the whereabouts of their clients were unknown, a situation that often arises when inmates are being moved. Some of those include Kara-Murza and another opposition activist, Ilya Yashin. Olga Karlova, a lawyer for Whelan, said on July 31 that she did not know where her client was, and authorities at the prison in the Mordovia region where he was incarcerated have ignored requests to confirm whether he is at the penitentiary. Whelan, who was serving a 16-year prison term on espionage charges that he and Washington reject, is one of more than 10 U.S. citizens who are currently being held in Russian jails and prisons, accused or convicted on charges ranging from drug possession and theft to treason and espionage. In many cases, the charges against the Americans have been labeled by their employers or by the U.S. government as trumped up or transparently political. Some of the sentences far exceed what legal experts say would be normal. Just hours after Whelan's disappearance emerged, the defense lawyer for Kara-Murza said he was not allowed into the Omsk prison facility to see his client, who last year was sentenced to 25 years in prison on treason and other charges. One of the first signs that the swap had started on August 1 came from a group of Russian lawyers and rights defenders known as readied, which posted a message on Telegram noting the flight track of an Antonov plane that had been previously involved in prisoner exchanges. An An-148 plane, which was allegedly used for the previous exchange of political prisoners, took off from Kaliningrad to Moscow on August 1, readied said. The plane, with the tail number RA61727, then took off back to Moscow, the group said, which may indicate that the exchange of political prisoners took place on the border with Poland. Data from the flight tracking site Flightradar24 confirmed the plane's movements, while the Russian media outlet Agentstvo has reported that several special Russian government planes in recent days have traveled to and from regions where prisons holding dissidents are being held. Meanwhile, 4 Russians have been charged or jailed in the United States have disappeared from a database of inmates operated by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Prisons. Among the 4 is Vladislav Klyashin, a Kremlin-connected IT entrepreneur serving a multi-year sentence on insider trading charges, and Alexander Vinnik, who recently pleaded guilty to money laundering charges and has been free pending sentencing. The largest prisoner swap since the Cold War occurred in 2010 and involved a total of 14 people. In that swap, the United States released 10 Russians, including Anna Chapman. Sergei Skripal, a Russian military intelligence officer convicted of spying for Britain, was among 4 people released by Moscow.